Welcome back to session 2 of, welcome back to Moon's Rebirth. This is session 2 of this cycle, and it is titled Ancient Secrets. Last session, the group have decided to kind of remove themselves from the conflict between the conglomerate and this portion of the kingdom and empire of Parnak, and have left on their airship, which they've acquired, to the Fairbairn Earldom, which is the seat of power for the King of Stormloft, House Eversole. They've landed their landing craft from the airship down on a high hill surrounded by woods. It's cold. They've exited the craft to take a look at a temple, a broken temple they saw from the sky, and upon initial inspection in the broken rubble of the place, they see what looks to be a large lupine form that seems to be casting cold breath from its mouth. I'd like everybody who's currently on the ship, before we roll initiative, to roll a perception check. Wisdom perception, yeah.
Give me one moment. I'm still trying to pull up the...
Natural 1 for Bartholomew.
17.
I got a 6.
21.
21 is really good. And just one high of what you need. So what you notice about the wolf, everyone may not also notice it, but it has something in its mouth. And as you inspect, you note that it seems to be the hilt of a sword. As it drags itself towards the more visible light, you notice that it's holding the hilt of the sword in its mouth, and the blade seems to be extending out from the left side of its face. Upon looking at the blade, it looks like it is an elvish blade, not unlike the same stylizations as Ithel's sword. Roll initiative.
Did you mean to put your initiative in the chat?
Man, I don't care.
As a
So it's Sif the Grey Wolf.
2!
Oh no.
I'm on 7. I wasn't selected again. I hate that.
17.
10.
Okay. Everybody rolled.
Yeah.
Lazarus, seeing the blade and seeing the dog, the other thing you note with your really high perception check is as it's kind of coming out into the light, your elvish eyes detect that around the snout of the wolf and all up and along the hair of the wolf, there are ice-cold blue tracings of arcane energy kind of emanating about this wolf. What this denotes to you is an Arcana check. Really good, but not quite good enough. What it will tell you, though, is it's one of three things. It's either a familiar to a spellcaster, but for a spellcaster to bind such a creature to it as a familiar would require a very powerful spellcaster. It is a creature who has changed its form to take this form, such as a druid using the wild shape ability. But for that to be the case, again, the same circumstances stand. A druid would have to be very powerful to do it, or the creature in question is in some way polymorphed. There might be something about the original form of the caster, or the creature, rather, that was altered to change it into what you see before you. Okay, that said, take your turn.
Well, it doesn't look friendly.
Doesn't look hostile.
But I can see it.
Yep.
I'm gonna go invisible.
Okay. All right. You guys watch as Lazarus kind of makes a few gestures and speaks a few words. I believe it has verbal and somatic, and vanishes from sight. Okay. Any movement from you?
I guess move as far as I can. What's that? 5, 10, 15, 20. Can I hop off the front, or do I have to go off like the side?
You can hop off the sides, which is easier. These ramps, basically. Or you can hop off the front, which, because of its height, it's basically kind of the bow of the ship is kind of set against the steps, so you can just step off onto the high step.
Oh, so I would be good. Okay.
Mhm.
Yeah, then that's it.
Okay. Ithel.
Yeah. So question: do we have a rest? Are we where are we in terms of?
Yeah, you guys have had a long rest.
Okay, super. And the second question: so is it possible to take an action, but to hold my movement until another? No, party member move. Okay.
You can ready an action as a part of that action move as well, because it's inconsequential, but you cannot take an action now and then move later.
So could I ready an action with a movement being part of the action?
Sure. But describe what you want, and I'll tell you if it's
Okay,
cool.
I just basically don't want Isaac to get too far away from me, so I can heal him when necessary. I need to be within 30 feet. And so I want to sort of do that, and before his turn, I want to use the Invoke Smite action.
Okay.
Is that
Got
possible?
it. So basically, you're going to move, and if he takes a hostile action towards a creature, you're going to invoke smite.
Mm-hmm.
Got it. The wolf. It takes kind of a slow walk through the rubble and kind of steps out in front of Jun. As it kind of gets close to him, it kind of lowers itself down and starts kind of eyeing all of you and looking at the ship as well. It's holding the sword in its teeth. As it's kind of looking at Jun, it starts to kind of grit its teeth and bare its, show its fangs. And cold ice kind of starts to flow out from its nostrils and the sides of its mouth. Jun, this doesn't really mean much to you other than it's kind of intimidating looking. But Lazarus, you immediately become concerned because you notice that the ice seems to stream down the steps and kind of connect to the bottom of the ship. And you're perceptive enough that you realize that what's happening here is it's apparently either binding the ship to the ground or freezing out the elementals that power it. Your action, Dink.
That sounds hostile.
Just quick interjection as it's approaching me. I would not be armed at this point. I didn't
Sure.
draw anything before I got off the boat.
It doesn't look like it's really focusing too much on you other than occasionally kind of glancing at you. But you're a pretty smart cookie. You notice that there's an intelligence in this dog's eyes. It doesn't look like it's kind of a feral beast. It looks like it's a bit more cunning. Dink.
I'm going to step up to the bow, ready in action of Dart, if he does show further hostility.
Okay. Isaac.
Parlay with it.
Where is that?
We got a ship. Time to get a ice dog.
I'm gonna move to. Is this off the ship or am I like on the bow of the ship?
You're on. You can
world.
be either or. Your choice.
Okay. I want to use detect evil and good
Okay.
and see what we're dealing with here. If this thing is,
So
if it's stanky.
I'm a nice enough DM. He's not taking his action to perform an attack action, so you won't have to invoke smite. But I'm a kind enough fellow. I will allow you to have used your reaction at this point, Ithel, to follow, so you can move yourself adjacent to Isaac.
Yeah, I just need to be within 30 feet, so I don't want to get
Yep.
too close.
Sure.
So are you, just for my reference, are you projected right now as a ghost outside,
I'm
or
in
are you
ghost form.
inside me?
No, I'm not. I'd rather not do that because I take half of whatever damage you take.
Okay,
Yeah.
so just for my own
Right.
sanity.
Just a
All right,
note.
cool.
So I have it set up so that I can very quickly change Isaac so that he sees through you instead of seeing through his token. So if he is currently possessing you, I will click him off and add him to your character sheet so that you're seeing through him. You cast detect evil and good, right?
Yep.
The wolf glows potently, but not. So with that,
Aberration, celestial, elemental, fey, fiend, or undead.
Fey.
Okay, that's interesting. So yeah, not inherently evil. And yeah, I'll kind of relay that message. May not be evil. We might be able to parlay with the beast.
John.
John will push his sleeves back and show his bare hands to the dog, and just kind of ease himself forward one step to see what it does.
Okay. As you step forward, one square, its head snaps in your direction, and it kind of turns the blade upwards, so its head's kind of looking at you, kind of sideways with one eye, and the sword's up like it could strike at you with it.
Yeah, and I'm just gonna keep looking at him with my hands up, like I don't want to fight you. I'll say that and hope it understands.
Fonzie.
How tall are the ships we're on?
So to the ground, it's about 5, maybe 7 feet from the high points of the bow. You can walk down. See those green kind of weird semicircles? Those are ramps that go down, like automatically, which you can walk down. Or, because of the way the ship landed, you can walk off the front of the ship onto the steps, because it landed in such a way that the bottom of the ship, which kind of comes down, is paralleled against the steps that also do likewise, like a jigsaw puzzle. Lazarus is a good pilot.
Okay, I'm gonna go there.
Okay, Lazarus is in that square right now.
He's there? There's no one there.
Yeah, it's weird that you're not seeing him, but you are in that square, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
he's there. I see it.
To be fair, he is invisible.
Oh,
Okay.
that's
Got
what's
it.
doing it.
Okay. And
You
then
bump
I'm-
into something, you kind of move off to the side, step somewhere
Got
else.
Yeah. I'm going to cast Spider Climb.
On yourself?
Well, actually, first, how tall are these pillars?
20 feet, and they're not pillars, they're walls that have been broken up.
Yeah, I'm gonna cast on myself.
Okay. You watch as he pulls something out of his spell component pouch, Lazarus. You recognize it as a small spider. He imbibes it. And, Lazarus, sure.
Can I use message while I'm invisible?
Yeah. At this top of the initiative, though, I do apologize, Lazarus. You would notice one thing too, just kind of having an innate sense for these kind of things, and having been piloting these ships for a little while, you would note that if you were going to try and move this ship, it's going to take some time. You are pretty certain that whatever it just did has it basically like parking a car in the mud circumstance. It's going to take some effort to get it out.
We'll
Yeah,
put
so
some
you
cat litter on it.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can't like escape. I
Or
got
some
you.
dog litter.
I guess. Yeah, I'm gonna hop off the boat
Okay.
like over here or something, and use message to try and talk to the wolf and say, "We mean you no harm. We're here searching for an artifact." I think, correct?
Correct. What language do you speak?
Do I know Sylvan? I know Elvish. I only know Elvish. So
Elvish.
yeah, Elvish.
Okay. You speaking, it kind of growls harder, and you can see that the biting on the hilt of the blade is becoming harsher as your words start to just fall out of your mouth. It doesn't seem to be listening to you. Ithel.
Take one more step back.
Ithel will say in. Oh God, I don't even know what to do. Ithel will say in common, "We mean you no harm."
As you utter the words, the wolf kind of opens its mouth, and the sword drops, but only for just a second before it floats off to the side of its head. And just as it does so, you're kind of like, it's like a penny could drop. You're like, oh, maybe he's turning to our side. Maybe he's our friend. And I would like everybody who's on the front of the ship. Let's see, John, Isaac, Dink, and Fonzie. Constitution saving throws, please.
I don't think you like that.
No, sorry, dexterity saving throws. Sorry.
Can I have partial cover? Can I have advantage?
14.
Against the wall?
It's pretty tall. You're pretty short.
Salty.
So, yeah, I'll allow it. It's fine.
The dexterity saving throw?
Uh-huh.
16.
Okay. So if you succeeded on a 15 or better... So 24 is the damage you would take on a failure, and 12 is the damage you would take on a success.
Oh, shit.
Okay?
Is this explosive mud?
And if you failed... Let's see... Jeremy failed. Isaac failed. You are restrained until the end of your next turn.
So
Which
cold.
means you can't move. Basically, you're frozen in place.
So cold.
I
Foot-wise.
thought, do I not have advantage on rolls like that?
You're what level?
You have evasion?
I don't think you have
Five.
evasion yet, right?
Yeah, evasion.
I don't have
6th level.
evasion, but I thought I had something else that would.
Uncanny
Yeah.
dodge.
Is
Uncanny
against
dodge.
attacks, not
That's
no.
attacks and for damage.
Yeah. At 6th level, you get evasion, which will give you bonuses or give you benefits against dexterity saving throws. Anyways,
Maybe I've just read ahead.
once it's done with the breath, it does start to push on forward. If you are restrained, you are immediately pushed by it when it moves. But it's basically going to be ending its movement here. It's only passing through Dink in that movement. You'd actually be pushed diagonal away from it. And then Isaac, you'd be pushed downwards onto the steps.
I'm gonna use reaction to hit it with a dart. Since
Okay,
that's,
yeah, that
I
was-
would gauge that.
You did
as
have that.
possible.
You did have that as a trigger. Go ahead and chuck your dart.
11 to hit.
As it's flying towards it, you're pretty sure, spot on accuracy. It's gonna hit it right in the
Sure,
eye.
sure.
And then you watch, like your sight narrows in, like on the spot, and you see this big just block hit the dagger away. As you refocus away from like your sniper sight, you realize that the great sword has moved of its own accord to block the blade, and it's now floating over the top of the wolf's head as it charges forward. You need to make either an acrobatics or an athletics check, Dink.
Acrobatics. 17.
Good enough. So you can remain in the same square, or you can freely move 5 feet in any direction as you please.
I'm gonna. I'll stay put.
Okay. You watch as Dink kind of hops off the side of the ship, and the wolf trundles over top of him, and then he kind of snaps back into his spot with a really acrobatics and quick move. Ithil, no, you don't get an opportunity attack because it didn't move past you; it moved adjacent to you.
Right.
You do note that it's not really intently focused on you, though. It does seem to be kind of focused on the back end of the ship.
Is that
Bartholomew.
where the spell core is?
The ship doesn't have a spell core. This small ship, what it does have is a orrery, a small micro orrery, and then the elementals are actually bound to the wood of this ship. So there's a limited amount of control compared to the control that's allotted for the big ship. Dink,
Okay.
you're up.
Whoops. Yeah, I'm going to use halfling nimbleness, move through him,
Mhm.
get between him and where he wants to go.
Okay.
Draw my short sword and attack.
Okay. As he's not really paying attention to you, you kind of roll off of your little evasion and just slide underneath him, and then pop up in front of him and make your attack.
18 to hit.
That hits.
Hit damage of 7.
Is your weapon magical?
No, sir.
As you cut into him, you see the arcane blueness, the auras on him kind of flare, and the wolf kind of looks at you, kind of annoyed and ferocious, like it's going to pick up its new favorite toy. Isaac?
Annoyed is what I was looking for. I have a second attack, sorry.
Oh, sorry. What?
Not at all.
A bonus action second hand?
No, I have second attack as a monk.
Oh, yeah,
And a bonus action.
I don't...
Level, right?
I'm racist against halflings. I always think they're rogues. I
I get
apologize.
this, it's fine.
Karate chop it.
I'm so sorry.
Short sword to 22, hit. 6
Yep.
piercing.
Okay.
And then bonus action unarmed strike.
Gotcha. That will
16
miss.
to hit. Whoa, okay.
As you kind of hit with the sword, then pull back and rear out with the fist, the blade kind of interjects itself in between you, and you kind of think the better of it and back away. Isaac, you are restrained to the end of this turn, which means you're
Him
frozen.
knocking me. So am I more chilled than like frozen?
Your legs are basically numb. Is the best way. to
Okay, I
describe
was gonna say if him knocking me cracked the ice or anything, but all right, if I'm just really cold, then that's fine.
you've ever-
Show it the blade.
Oh, damn you! I was gonna do that, and now you spoiled my theatric.
John is just as smart as Joe.
But yeah, I draw the sword
Quite
and
a boast.
Elvish. I don't hold it up menacing. I kind of hold it up like this, if like the blade was
Okay.
showing off the rune stones. And I just want to, yeah, in Elvish, I want to. I'll say, we are enemies of the Dragon Queen. Do not hinder us.
Okay. As you hold the blade up, you notice 3 things happen at the same time, simultaneously. First things first, the most noticeable. Ithel kind of standing next to the wolf, kind of looking to see what's going on, and being really concerned, as I'm sure Andy is as well, changes shade from light green ghost to light blue ghost.
Really? What does that mean?
Then you see the runes on your sword activate and become bluish in color as well. And then you see that locked on the greatsword at the base near the sword guard is a rune stone that also glows blue. Looking at it, it looks like it is the last month of the zodiac, just kind of piecing it over, which would be the most wintry winter of months. Isaac, that was your action? Yeah?
Oh, that's sure. Well, technically speaking, it's a free action. If we want to
Okay.
get technical.
If you have an action, you can take it.
I'm restrained, but my well, let's see. I don't know if this is an action or bonus action. I'll click it.
Your arms aren't numb. Crawl.
Bonus action, yeah. I guess branding smite.
Yep. You
Get that ready. I'm on the.
The blue,
Yeah, my action will be. I'll take the dodge action.
the blue color of the runestones start to emanate outward from the weapon in kind of a blue radiance. And your action was to dodge, you said?
Yeah, since I can't move.
John, you are also restrained.
I'm gonna attempt to locate. Wow, I can't think of his name. Kevin. It's not Kevin. Lazarus.
Right next to you.
Yeah, I know, but he's invisible.
Oh, right.
And if I find him, do I need to roll for it, or do I know he's next to me?
So your action would be perception. If you're trying to seek him, out. You do not know where he's at.
Okay.
Kev,
then
Kev.
I'm gonna hope he's nearby and just whisper, "Get to the helm. I don't think dogs can fly."
Okay. Bomsy, the ice did not freeze you down, and you look at this thing. It's not looking at you. It's basically butt to you at this point. It's more focused on on Dink than you. You're muted, buddy.
I'm gonna move off the boat and I'm gonna run up this wall 20 feet.
Okay. You are at the top. Hold on a second. Go ahead and put yourself up there.
And then I'm going to go ahead and cast Magic Missile at the...
Okay. As you do so, you watch as its eyes kind of flare blue, and it starts kind of like moving its mouth and turning its head to you. The sword starts to spin rapidly and creates a shield effect, and all of the magic missiles like hit against it, and it's like that scene in Independence Day where they shot rockets at the big ship. It just boom, boom, boom. Nothing happens. Lazarus, you recognize that the dog just cast the spell Shield. You would also recognize that as well,
Cool dog.
Fonzie. The spell, it just cast a spell, and the spell is Shield. Lazarus.
Okay, I'm gonna move to here.
Mhm.
Is there any way that I can
make a stealth check.
God. 11.
I would say because of proximity, you'd have disadvantage, but you still have +10. So yeah, you move past John without him knowing you're there.
Am I able to decipher anything that's on this wall or this thing?
The back wall?
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks like some sort of demon dragon creature. The back wall has a big dragon on it. The markings are old and wind-worn. Doesn't look like there's much in the way of legible things, but you're pretty certain that the iconography is that of Ashmedea, the dragon queen.
Okay. I just wanted to know if there's anything related to this wolf that I could use.
No, for all intents and purposes, this wolf shouldn't be here.
Yeah. Okay, I guess, where are the controls? Like, way the fuck back here?
That red piece, yeah.
Jesus. Alright, I guess I'm gonna try and sneak around the side of the ship.
5,
Like-
10, 15, 20,
Like that?
25, 30, 35. Are you dashing?
Can I? Oh yeah, I guess I could.
Yep.
So 35, 40, that's 50.
55, 60. Difficult terrain. The rocks. Back off one.
Oh, true. Okay.
Alright, Ithel. You're standing really close to it. You notice that your shape has changed. There's no change in you besides the
Color?
visual change, but besides that, yeah, what do you do?
I'll try that.
Well, that is a lot of things.
We'll hit him with the wall of
I know,
text.
that's what it says, man. I just typed that whole freaking thing out.
No, I know.
Holy crap.
Copy paste, man.
There is no copy. I couldn't copy and paste it. I tried.
Oh, that's not.
Oh my god. Are you gonna become the dog?
I'm gonna try to possess that thing.
You will note that the dog will basically still have its functionality if it does fail. Let's go ahead and check that. And then the DC for this will be... Creature must succeed on a save or become possessed. So your DC would be 2, or your proficiency bonus 3, plus your wisdom
I
modifier.
thought it's D13, right?
Yeah.
13?
Okay, cool. I got a 21.
You suck.
Sorry. Okay. You try to enter into it and it just willingly pushes you away from it.
Okay.
Its turn. Dink, it looks down at you. Ithel, it doesn't even seem to notice you. It's going to dash and use its bonus action to dash as well. As it steps over you and kind of just jumps away, you will get an opportunity attack. But I want you to make a perception check before you take that action.
Okay. 11.
Doesn't seem that there's anything untoward. It just seems to be rushing away, jumping off the back end of the ship.
Do I get an
Outstanding.
opportunity as well?
Yeah, if you can take an action that affects the world around you.
I'm gonna invoke Light then.
Yeah, you could. I think you can on our little guy here. Dink.
Yeah, I'll invoke Smite on Barthol.
Okay.
Get it.
Short sword.
Take an attack.
15 to hit.
Okay. It misses. It wildly misses. It jumps too high for you to kind of reach up and get to it. But in response, the sword that was left in the air above it as it jumps away takes a swipe at you. 19 will hit.
Just makes it, yep.
For 15 points of damage.
Shucks.
After the creature's movement, immediately concluding the movement, the sword trails away after it and returns to its position on top of its head. It's now about... It darted into the woods behind you. There was a clearing not too much more behind the ship. It darted off into the woods, speed of 50, 5, 10, 15, so 35 remaining. It's 135 feet off of map in the woods. It does not seem to be affected by the difficult terrain of the high amounts of snow-covered or frozen soil around the trees. That said, I'm just going to go ahead and remove his token, but he's still present if you wish to, objectively continue. Bartholomew, do you think you can catch up with him?
No, I can't.
No.
I'm gonna stay put.
Okay.
Idea.
He absolutely is leaving very, very clear tracks, and it looks like he's kind of beelining straight to the east.
I'll use my action to try to help Isaac free himself from the ice there.
Okay, Isaac is free at this point.
Oh, okay. Then,
Isaac,
yeah, I'll just wait for everybody to regroup.
What the heck? That thing had a runestone.
If I spend some time thinking about it, do I get a sense of why I turned blue?
Oh, you're green now, but
I know.
no, you're not sure.
Did I see the color change?
Yep.
Did I see the stone and the sword
Yep.
from where I...
It's your initiative if Isaac's not doing anything.
You said is the ship like frozen to the ground right?
It does appear to be the case, yeah.
I can't catch up. It's 150 feet off. It's too fast. I can't
135.
catch. Yeah, I can't catch that. Even if I can only run. We'll have to
Break
fly
out the
after
hammer.
it. So can I? I'm gonna start.
Stasia and Chase.
Isaac, give me the blade.
You want to run out?
He's been waiting for
Give
this
me
moment.
the blade. No, I can double dash, get within range, and then she's gonna eject the stone from his sword when she turns blue.
All right, go for it. And I hand you the sword because I don't trust myself to throw it properly.
Oh my god.
Okay. John, you're up.
Go hard.
So your speed is 30, correct? 5, 10, 15, 20, 25,
Yeah.
30.
How far?
Double.
If he has to go more
And
than
then
100.
you'll be able to make
miles
it
to the width.
20 more feet before you hit difficult terrain, the high muck of the forest floor. So your speed after that point would be halved. So you've moved a total of 50.
I'm going to risk it with full movement, bonus action move again, and do whatever dex acrobatics I have to do to get as close to it as possible.
There will be no dex acrobatics required or possible for moving through mucky floor. Like, you can chase it, but you're not going to be able to do so quickly. It's obviously leaving a very clear indicator as to which direction it went, because you see big wolf prints in the ground where it's going, and in the distance you can kind of see it off in the forest line, but it is definitely going to outpace you, as it appears to be unmolested by the nature of the forest floor. That said,
How much ground did I cover then?
50 feet, so you're 20 feet off map, and then after that you would be moving at half speed. Your full speed at triple move is 90, so you'd have 40 remaining. Half of 40 is 70, so you are 40 feet off of map, which means that you are 95 feet away from the wolf.
So how far away is
This
he
turn?
from where we are now?
Yes, this turn. So,
Yeah, it's just gonna start going even further.
Bombs
In
is...
other words, he's going to pull me
sorry.
with him.
Yeah, well, no. Ithel's not going anywhere.
Why?
Ithel's still bound to Jun. You're still moving to Jun.
I'm moving to the sword, yeah.
Yes. Okay, I thought you said you were moving to the wolf.
No, he was with me. He had to go with
Wherever
me.
John
Okay.
goes, if he's going 150, I follow with him.
Gotcha. So perfect. That's stated. John, if you're trying to chase after, after the that movement, you're like 40 feet in the muck. I would say that next turn, you would realize that you're no longer able to see the creature, and moving even at your fastest is going to require some effort if you're trying to do so quickly. That said, you do see where it went. Like, it's very clear indicators. Like, you see the huge dog prints in the mud, but you don't think you're going to be able to keep pace.
Okay, so John, now knowing this, he's very against it, but he's going to ask Ithel if she can contact the other.
Contact Stasia?
No, the people on the boat. Do you have a way to contact them, message them?
They're only 40 feet away.
No.
Okay, then I
If
just
you-
yell to get the thing in the air and follow, and I'm going to go into pursuit mode on the
Okay.
ground.
Ithel is bound to you now that you have the rune sword, and she will tether to it and follow along. A note, though. Actually, no, there's no. Yeah, there is a note. Sorry. The sword in question. Let me double check. I don't want to lie to you. At the same time, I do, but I don't.
Don't lose that sword, dude.
Thorn's Moonblade does not require Yeah, you're fine. You'll gain the benefits of it. It is a...
I won't be drawing it.
yeah, it's a long sword. So yeah. Okay.
Said get the ship in the air. I take out my heavy mace and I start bashing this ice with my muscle.
Make a I have a brain check. Just roll a 20-sided dice for me.
Oh, I thought you wanted me to roll intelligence. I was like, oof.
Yeah, that'll work.
Same thing.
I got a 12.
Yep. Very, very clearly obvious that there is nothing to smash away with your hammer. There is no ice.
Oh, the ice is gone.
Doesn't appear to be any ice in the bottom of the ship. There does appear to be rime all over the bottom coating of the ship. Not a thick coating of it, but it seems to be ingrained in the wood. Lazarus, having gotten a 21 on his Arcana check, knows that the creature didn't freeze the ship to the ground. He froze the elementals in the ship so that they're not going to be able to do their service.
Oh shit, so can the ship not fly? We grounded, Lazarus?
We have to, like, work at getting it.
We got jumper cables.
Falling out.
Light a fire.
Fonzie, you have a unique perspective on the circumstance. You do see that what you're standing on seems to be the top of what you propose is a ziggurat. Also using your archaeologist nature, you're pretty familiar with these kind of structures. The Basriel were very keen on building pyramids and ziggurats. But what you notice especially fondly is off in the distance, the way the creature is running, you do see another clearing a ways away. Not a very large one, but a ways away. Kind of in like a deeper grouping of trees. And based on where you're standing and where it's going, your presumption is that you're at the top of the ziggurat, but the entrance to the temple complex is that way. You know how on like the pyramids you've got like you're at the high point, and then they have those doors like all the way down the ways that are a ways off? That's what you're kind of thinking is the case.
I relay this to them and to the group and say we actually need to head over that way after him anyway, so we're both going in the same group.
And even from above, you would know that the clearing in question isn't going to be substantial enough for the ship to land in.
And it's not okay. I let them know that we're gonna have to continue on foot either way, so it's not a big hurry. We definitely want to get after him, but we might as well not waste our time on the boat. I walk down the wall and start heading that way as well.
Maybe we don't know it. The wolf is actually helping us. He put the club on it so no one would steal our car. We just have to follow him.
Did you say you put a club on it?
Yeah, he locked the car for us so no one can steal it. And
That
he
was
just
a
had to
helpful
take us down
stab.
here to give us the stone. You attacked him.
Well, he started
John-
breathing ice everywhere.
You attacked
Breathing
him.
all my buddies.
You started that.
Fair. He's probably cool.
Okay. So
I
just-
follow Fonzie. He seems smart about this kind of thing.
Okay.
Haha, I tricked him. No.
I'm going to go from left to right, and I'm just going to ask you, Andy, I'm just going to go to John for you.
Yep.
Steve, what are you doing? Following Fonzie?
Yeah, Fonzie says we got to go that way. You know, he's a paleontologist or something, so he knows these things.
Jeremy, you continue to chase after, as stated before.
Yeah. The rapier of warning will be half drawn in pursuit.
Okay. Yeah, you'll note that it is glowing. It does seem to track this creature as a hostile creature. Well, no, it's
And which two
within 50
which two
feet.
stones did I have? 30 feet for the sword.
Okay, then
Just
it's not
so
glowing.
I have a heads up. Right, I'll have a heads up though if we
Got
get
it.
close.
The
And which
two
stone?
stones were
Luck and
Dragon
Rend, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Sure wish we had that speed stone,
Dragon Sunder, sorry.
Steve.
Okay.
Then I could have caught that wolf.
Kevin.
Hey, the scary ghost dragon took it.
That's fair.
It's not my
Really,
fault.
that is the most fair.
Kevin, are you following after, or do you have other operations that you want to engage in?
No, if I can't bring the ship, then there's no point. Just follow.
Okay. And last but not least, Chris.
I'm still going after. Yeah.
Okay. You guys all chase after into the muck. It's a hard, laborious, and full of effort attempt to kind of maneuver through the forest. Basically, you're at a point where there seems to be some sort of kind of the mud, it's wet and damp and sticky, but it's also very cold. It's not like snow has been here for a while. It just seems that there's a chill in the air that causes it to kind of be more sticky, stay with you. By the time you finally get to where you need to go, you come to a point where there's an opening. I won't say clearing, because there's still a canopy overhead, but an opening in the trees. The trees seem to kind of edge inwards and kind of dome over this space. And there seem to be old, ruinous kind of pieces of stone kind of set out that look like they're of the same construction as the stone up on the hill. And just across the clearing from you, you see the wolf kind of staring out at you from the trees. And as it's kind of looking at you, its blue eyes are kind of catching whatever light is coming in from the canopy and making its silhouette even more intimidating.
How far away are we?
I'd say the clearing's about 50 feet.
Okay. I look at the others and say, do you all feel we need to fight or try to parlay more? It attacked us pretty hard already.
Yeah. It attacked us first, right? Before Dink stabbed it. So, yeah, he's already...
I'm not done with him.
You guys are kind of catching up. Sorry, I apologize. John, you arrived first. So, before they get to their discussion there, you arrive on the scene. Like I said, there's broken pieces of stone all about this this clearing. Across the clearing, or this flat space that's not filled with tree branches or tree trunks, you see the wolf. And like I was saying, the light from the canopy seems to be catching its eyes, but you can still see the auras kind of gleaming from its fur anyways. It's very visible, is what I'm trying to point out.
Just real quick, in pursuit, could Ithel have taken actions?
Sure.
Could you have healed me, Andy?
I could heal you, sure.
While running, and then as we get closer, if she's close enough that she can turn blue, if she turns blue, I'll instruct her to try to eject the stone from that blade and hope it'll snap to ours.
8 hit points.
Thank you.
Okay. So as you guys are approaching slowly, cautiously, getting to it, you make it within 30 feet, the sword starts to glow, and Ithel starts to glow blue as well.
Are
The
you
sword of witness.
talking about just them or all of us?
Just them.
Just curious.
And you guys are
Okay,
rushing
good.
out onto the scene. So here's what you're going to see. You see Jun and Ithel in kind of close to the center of this open space. There's cover though, there's rocks and stuff about them. Across the way from you guys is the wolf, and you guys are about 20 feet from Ithel and Jun and about 50 feet away from the wolf. And yeah, I know I don't have a battle map, but it's intentional.
My only actions are to be dodging and evading to protect the two of us while she tries to get the stone out. And if it's out, I'll draw my blade immediately and hope it snaps in.
Okay. So you have the Thorn's Moonblade, the black sword, out, and are kind of holding it as Ithel's trying to...
I don't have it out yet. I have it ready to be drawn if I see the stone actually eject from the other one.
Okay.
I won't draw it until that happens.
And Ithel, you're trying to form a connection with the sword, the great sword, and the runestone on it? Okay. It feels like it's a labor. It certainly feels like it's a labor, but it does feel like you have some pull. There is some sway here. You don't think you should get any closer. You don't need to. You just feel like it's an effort. Okay? So that said, also it would be a lot more beneficial for you. You feel if the sword was if Thorn's sword was out instead of in its scabbard waiting for a quick reaction. You're trying to form a tether, and currently one segment of the tether is not available because it's sheathed. Does that make sense? Okay. Delineate that between your group as you like. I'm going to cut from you two real quick, though. I'm going to assume that's going to go how I think it's going to go. Steve, Kevin, Zach, and Chris. You guys see the situation as you see it. What are you guys doing?
Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry. Other people first.
You got something, you can go.
Okay.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah. The last tree on the clearing, I'm gonna go up to get a better angle, as far as I can with movement action wise. I'm gonna pull my wand of fireball and shoot 2 fireballs at it, from across the clearing.
You mean one fireball?
Doesn't the wand have 7 charges and I can cast?
Yeah, so when you use an extra charge, it just increases the level of the spell.
Okay. Then I'm going to do 2.
Okay. Just as you feel like there's a tethering, Ithel, you hear a screeching sound as a ball of fire flies across the way and then detonates above the wolf's head. The tether is lost to you. And the second that happens, the wolf's eyes kind of like become really bright, and everyone notices that you're surrounded by 30 of those same eye colors.
What?
Oops.
Ithel and Jun are out in the open. You do feel like you're surrounded by these eyes in the dark. I need Isaac, Dink, and Kevin to tell me what your engagement is. Again, you feel like you're maybe 20 feet away from the creatures in your current position. And oddly enough, standing out in the middle in the opening might be the best place for you, as you note there's movement behind you as well.
Wait. So there are many, bunch of eyes in the woods? More doggos?
Bright blue eyes all surrounding you, yep.
Alright, I watch enough Discovery Channel that this says we need to take the alpha down, then we become the alpha. It's like Liam Neeson in The Gray. Let's do it.
Strangely enough, almost as if you were like calling a challenge out to it. The main one with the sword, still now in its mouth, is actually kind of moving into the opening.
Cool. Yeah, I'll draw Fury. It's my backup weapon.
And move into the clearing.
Yeah, let's rock and roll.
Okay.
I'm assuming more than a minute has passed. My branding smite is fizzled.
Will he be walking past me to do this?
He's walking up to you. I think he's going to probably try and get close to you, right, Isaac?
I'm just gonna go meet the wolf, and then we'll have our duel of fates.
Yeah, if you're walking out here where
I do need damage for the fireball, Chris, if that's what you're wondering. It should be, if you cast it as a 4th level spell, it should be 9d6.
John will pass the sword back to Isaac if he's walking up here.
Oh, okay, cool.
If he gets within reach, he will hand it back to him. He doesn't actually want it. He just knew he was faster.
Alright, yeah, then I won't draw my axe. I'll take
Okay.
the sword.
You walk up and start to reach for the sword to take it. That's fine. Dink, what are you doing?
Seeing this go down, I'm gonna go ahead and cast Aid on myself, Isaac, and Jun.
Okay.
Give each of them an additional 5 hit points.
Do you move closer to them as well, or do you stay back in the forest?
Yeah, I'm gonna get up. I'm gonna take up the front line with them.
Temporary HP.
Kevin,
5.
As stated,
Yes.
it does look like
No,
you
heal yourself for 5 and increase your max for 5 as well.
are encircled by these eyes. I'd like for you to make an Arcana check.
Who?
This would be Lazarus.
21.
Really good. There's something off about this entire scene and the entire area. There seems to be some sort of sense of magic to the whole place and the whole thing, and you're not sure. What you see is what you're getting, as this is your kind of main focus, if I remember correctly. You don't think there's that many wolves.
Yeah, it's a hoax.
Do you move out into the group and start saying that?
Yeah.
Okay.
I've seen this before.
So, looks like everybody amongst your group, Ithel, is ready to go down. And based on the information that you gave me on the side, I'm going to go ahead and use that to kind of denote something here. I want you to make a wisdom saving throw for me.
Ithel?
Yes.
Okay. I rolled a 7.
This looks really bad, really, really bad. And you start muttering to yourself and kind of whispering to yourself in Elvish, asking for her to come, asking for her to be present. Before the sword passes from Jun to Isaac, Jun, for you, time stops. Everything freezes. And you just feel kind of like, what the hell? And you see Ithel change shape. She seems to erase again and become Stasia. And she kind of, when she appears, she looks crazy, like maddened in the face. And she looks around and she starts screaming wildly. Time restarts for everybody else, and you all see moan bolts start slamming down into the ground all around you. You see the wolf in front of you start to get destroyed, ripped apart, and all of the illusions around you start to become, like, known. You see them as they are. But the other thing you notice far too late is that the explosion and the detonation of this raw energy actually causes the floor of the forest beneath you to break open.
Oh, shit.
And you all descend down into darkness.
Do I?
Yeah, you're on the outer edge. You're falling in.
Okay, do I touch aside?
Yeah, are you trying to do something here?
I have spider climb still on. I've never turned it off.
Yeah, it was about an hour. How long does spider climb last?
An hour?
Yeah, it was about 500 feet walk. I said it wasn't like a quick gander on over. What's spider climb's duration?
1 hour?
Is it?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Well then,
Convenient.
let's see here.
Hold on just a second. There you go, buddy.
Yeah, I believe you. You're not. Let's see. I'd still like for you to make me a dexterity saving throw.
2.
Okay. You do get a hold of something. A nice big chunk of earth. The problem is the chunk of earth is also going down. So.
Okay. All good, man.
It should break your fall.
Okay.
All right. Bear with me here for a second. Just imagine you're screaming and it's pitch black.
Always.
Note to self, calling Stasia is a shitstorm.
Do I have time to react at all?
What's the reaction?
I was gonna try to cast Featherfall.
Let's see.
If I don't, it's cool, but just
Yeah,
curious
I'd say with the dexterity saving throw I gave you, you were really focused on keeping yourself grounded,
Cool.
and we're certain
Makes
on
sense.
that. It was the thing that you said first.
How far is the fall?
It's a good question.
Because he might have time to cast another spell on the way down.
It's about seeing in the dark past that point, though.
I mean, he knows where he himself is.
Yeah. No, he's going to be fine. He still has a big chunk of earth that's going to, again, like I said, break his fall.
If the blade has not changed hands when she appeared, I will have latched onto it
Yeah.
to make sure I don't lose it on the way down.
Okay. It's pitch black. I do not think anyone besides the two elven kind, and the gnome has dark vision too as well, right? Or no?
Let me check.
I never remember with gnomes.
Might not. Low light.
Yeah. Okay. So you three would be able to see that you are in a long, narrow chamber that appears to be kind of running, side to side, east to west, or north to south. You're not sure, having been flipped and turned about. The rubble has kind of descended down and formed kind of a wall behind you, and has kind of slid you down into the hall.
I do have dark vision. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
You have superior dark vision, right?
Do you?
It just says dark
No,
vision.
he's not a
across
gnome,
the
or
ground.
he's not a sort of Neblin.
Oh.
Yeah. So the west end of the room is blocked by the fallen stone and rubble. Actually, it'd be the south. And it's apparently the result of the collapse that you just suffered. The two side walls appear to have several niches cut into them. The shape in the center of the chamber appears to be a small alcove, protected by a half dome with the open end facing the door in the east wall. This alcove is set in a recessed, shallow, tiled well, 1 foot deep and 10 feet wide. The alcove itself is 4 feet high. The recess contains some sort of display. The display appears to be a diorama depicting a hunting party of Vazriel warriors in feathers and deer-hide garments and mountainside scene. Some have pulled down a stag with the aid of a large wolf. Another group is cleaning a small mule deer, and others have cornered a panther with their spears. So their scouts watch the panther from an outcropping above. He holds a metal staff with a loop in its end. It looks like a shepherd's crook. The 3 niches on both the northern and southern wall are 5 feet wide and about 3 feet off of the floor. Let's see. I'm going to get you on the map because I'm sure some of you guys are not more mentally focused. And I would like everyone besides little guy, Fonzie, to roll me a dexterity saving throw as well. If you get less than a 10, then let me know.
28.
Is this for the falling?
Yeah. Oh, you ignore.
I don't get falling damage yet.
Yeah, you ignore it.
20.
Everybody?
The
Yeah.
most dexterous group of all
this is
time.
awesome.
God, 8.
There he is.
Lazarus.
Still invisible for some reason.
Hey, you guys just hear, ooh!
Doesn't know where his feet are.
John, you are holding the sword. I do want to note one thing. Ithel doesn't fall because she's not there. She is actually in goddess form as you're falling. But as you kind of hit the ground and kind of roll very quaintly and kind of hold the sword up, you feel this strange tugging of the sword back up to the surface. To you, you would know that she hasn't been able to leave 30 feet from the blade. And this is disconcerting for a moment because you're like, you're holding on to it and it feels like it's going to take you with it. But then you feel another sensation. It feels like you're actually winning the tug of war and you didn't even really try. And then Ithel's form kind of appears, manifests next to the sword.
With what little light there may be, I'm going to start looking for the other sword in the stone and cueing everybody else to do the same if they're not dead.
Cool. So this map has got a lot to it, and it's quite big. I'm going to go ahead and move you to it. You're all the way on the right side.
Oh, Lord.
Everybody, hold on a second.
No.
I forgot how the snap works.
Found it.
Thing.
Jesus.
I don't see anything.
I just see darkness.
How do you?
If you zoom way out,
Scroll all the way to the right and about 2/3 of the way down.
I
Hold on
see
a
where the
second.
clicking is, but I don't see anything there.
oh, he might just
Hold
be
on a
in
second.
darkness.
I see it.
Yeah.
So how much did I take for falling on my ass?
What'd you get?
Oh, I see it now.
8?
Okay. You take 10 points of damage.
And if we succeed, we take none. We just
Yep, no damage.
aim gracefully.
Yep.
Oh, that looked a lot worse than it actually was.
It was a lot of mud. The hard part was kind of the ground, and Lazarus did this thing where he fell like a rock through all of the mess and slammed into the stone.
And how far away was the dog from us when all this happened? You said it got obliterated, right? By
It died.
The meteor. Pardon?
It died horribly.
Oh yeah. And it was, what? How close was it to us?
Pretty close. 20, 30 feet.
30 feet or so.
Oh yeah. Then scan the room for a greatsword.
Okay. Make an intelligence investigation check.
I nuked it.
7.
You're looking around and you don't see anything in particular that's well noticeable.
Oh wait, because I know. Sorry. Damn, I should have thought this over. Never mind. I already wasted my action.
Well, there's no action limit here. We're not in an initiative.
I have
wait.
locate object.
I apologize. There is a reason for us to actually start dealing with initiative. I apologize. Thank you for remembering.
Don't worry about me. I just forget I have spell.
Everyone who's not Ithel...
Because I said I was doing that as soon as I hit the ground.
Yep. Everyone who's not Ithel starts to notice something very strange about the room that you're in. I forgot to get to that point. There's a certain kind of strangeness about the air. Like a miasma is actually floating through the air about you.
Oh god, no, not this place!
Graveyard warning.
Doesn't glow.
14 investigation.
Pretty good, but not good enough. Apologies here. It seems that there's this strangeness to the air that's actually kind of being breathed in. There's a bit of fresh air from above in the slamming, but you're pretty sure that if you stay down here for too long, it might cause you some problems. Does anybody here have nature trained?
No.
Not yet.
That was my last body.
Okay. Okay. Alright. So what I'm going to do...
I have, sorry, I have divine health. Do I care about the asthma?
Are you immune to poison?
Disease.
Okay. So, that said, I'm going to just ask what everybody's actions are, and at this point, and this point alone, we have entered a point where real-time time equals game time. Do you understand? The only times that will stop is when I say we're in a combat 6-second rounds, and we'll denote time at that point. So if a combat starts, time freezes, but from this second forward, 6 o'clock, every hour that you take is going to be an hour in game, unless a combat stops it. So, just tell me what you're doing. Just in any order that you want. I don't care. Someone said they were casting locate object.
Oh, what was the result of John's investigation? Was he
No
able
luck.
to find the great? Then yeah, I'd like to cast locate object, the greatsword, that had the runestone on it. If it's within 1,000 feet of me.
Yep, it's buried under the mud, just near where Jung kind of landed and rolled. You're pretty sure that it'll take you about 5 minutes worth of digging to do it. And another thing too, combats will stop and slow time. Actions that take time will speed time forward.
Alright, well, at 6:08, I'll catch up to you guys.
Jen wraps a scarf around his face and assists in the digging.
Okay, that's fine.
Could I check out this statue in the middle of the room?
Sure. So, as I mentioned, the display in the center isn't so much a statue, but it's a diorama. As you kind of move around, you see that it's of a hunting party of Vazriel warriors in feather and deer hide garments. Looks like it's been meticulously put together, and it displays a scene of what you assume is the common life of the peoples that it's relaying.
Does it appear to have any moving parts or any levers or switches?
Good question. Let's see. The diorama does not appear to have any moving parts. But you do see that there is, in the hands of one of the scouts, that's holding a crook, a staff. That staff doesn't appear to be just a, piece that's been added for no reason like everything else is. Looks like it's actually a key.
Yeah, so she puts her hands through it, of course, it doesn't go near. So maybe she can call over Dink or Fomsy to see if they could pull that.
Okay. Do either one of you want to go and help Ithel out?
While we're already using time, I'm going to be casting Prayer of Healing. So if Fomsy can take over being the hands of the situation.
It's my archaeological curiosity. I will definitely help.
Okay.
So each of us over 10
What's
minutes.
the casting time
regains
for healing? So
10 minutes.
You started casting it at the beginning, right?
Right, as soon as I could.
Okay.
Each one of us regains 15 healing points.
So in about 4 minutes, that'll go off. All right. That said,
Hey, John.
yeah.
As I took a knee to assist in the digging, does it seem like the miasma is getting thick?
Not thicker, no. It's still maintaining itself. You're not sure how quickly it's going to affect you, but it hasn't yet.
As far as being at the bottom of the room versus the top of the room, does it seem like it fills it floor to ceiling?
Floor to ceiling.
Float around a certain...
Yeah. There was a momentary kind of reprieve, but it seemed to fill out. It seems to... Basically, once the mud and stone is settled into the column that you fluted through, it seems to have kind of settled to a point where it's floor to ceiling.
Okay.
Yeah. And this is the moment that John, pick a number between 1 and 6.
3.
Okay, cool. So Isaac pulls the sword from the earth and has the weapon. As it kind of comes to light, Ithel starts to glow blue. Fonzie, you pull the key out of the diorama, and Ithel, you feel a connection with it and feel like you could tether the sword or tether the runestone off and connect it to the moonblade.
Oh yeah, do that.
Okay.
As soon as that happens, Isaac, trade me swords.
You want it back?
No, you're going to take the one that has the runes in it. I'm going to take the empty one as backup.
Oh, you want the greatsword?
The empty sword is a great sword, yeah.
Yeah, I'm not going to be able to wield it, but so they're not together.
Okay.
They should not ever be on the same person.
Sure. You would note, though, that the weapon is very well made, elvish craftsmanship, and it appears to have, in the darkness here, kind of a sense of presence to it. There's kind of an emanation that wasn't all the dog.
And I'm going to cut my scarf up in as many pieces as I can. If there are people that don't have something they can cover their face with in this, tell them to do.
Yep, I'll take one.
Okay. That said,
We have to go. I'm going to start looking for a door.
Oh, sorry, Lazarus, you haven't gotten a chance to do anything yet.
You're muted.
You guys can't hear me?
Now we can.
Now I can.
Okay.
Yeah, I was just gonna do the same thing Andy was gonna do, like check out the diorama, because you mentioned a wolf and a panther. I wanted to see if like the wolf was the same or anything. There's some kind of similarity, but yeah, that's it.
Yeah, it's in the alcove. It holds any of the kudos. Are you picking any of them up or removing any of them, or are you just looking at them in their current position?
I guess I'd pick them up, the animals at least, and like.
Which one do you want to pick up first?
Wolf.
Is anybody carrying rope?
You said the wolf?
Yes.
Yeah.
I have hit you,
Okay.
but
When you pick up the wolf, nothing happens. You have a small wolf trinket. It is white-haired and looks like it's been, here for a long time.
Can I throw it at the ground?
Yeah.
How far is it back to the surface?
So make a wisdom perception check. You did fall. You don't know how far you fell. You are pretty sure it's anywhere between 80 and 100 feet.
Bombsy, can you be a spider again?
There's there's no hole. Sorry, I apologize. It's filled in. The dirt around that was not
that
mentioned.
was missed.
Yeah, I forgot to point that out. The hole
That's
kind of
important.
We're trapped
it filled in
in the
behind
poison.
you. I apologize there, Jeremy. That is super important.
Okay, yeah, then that's fine. John's on point. Find me a door. I'm going.
Okay.
I'm gonna cast light on my tobacco.
Okay.
So I have a source of vision, and start scanning
You cut in. What was that?
the room for exit.
Yeah. Light. Bear with me here.
Oh, sure. Sorry.
Yeah.
It's a cantrip.
Alright. Stuff's kind of lagging. I know what it is.
Okay.
I'm just trying to add light to you.
Oh, sorry.
Okay. Yeah. Light kind of emanates from the halfling, and you can see the alcoves, the niches on the side, seem to also have very similar kind of displays. These artistic displays. And if you kind of move towards the diorama in the center of the room, you very quickly find that there is a door on the opposite side of the room. The door, apologies, real quick readout. The door is carved with a sun symbol and appears to open into the room. So it opens inwards, not outwards. There are hinges on this side and scratches on the floor, as if the door has been opened. You don't know how recently. There is no visible lock or handle on it, although a slight gap stretches across the top of the door. 8 holes seem to have been bored into the door. They are about an inch in diameter, but nothing can be seen in them. The door seems to be fairly thick, made of stone. The lintel is arched with a keystone at the top.
Somebody mentioned finding a key.
Yeah, we have the key from this middle portion right here.
Bring it.
I'll bring the key over.
John,
Okay.
No, it's fine.
So like I said, there are 8 holes in there. They're each about an inch in diameter. So is the the key is not. It's key size. Yeah.
I will stand to the side of the door and attempt to put the key in the keyhole.
Okay. There are 8 holes.
Okay, I thought you said there were 8 holes and a keyhole.
Oh no, 8 total holes.
There's 8 keyholes?
There's a keystone. It's the lintel, the top of the door. It's an arch, and there's a keystone set.
Arch.
Yeah.
Okay. I tried the first hole.
Okay. Kind of reach in, and there isn't anything to it. Go ahead and save us all a lot of time. Just roll a wisdom perception check.
20.
Really good. You're pretty certain it's the one directly beneath the keystone. In the total of 8. So you put your hand in there and kind of reach in a little bit, and you find that there is, in fact, a keyhole. And you put it in and unlock it, but the door doesn't open. But you are certain it is unlocked. As mentioned, there are no handles on it, but there are all of these holes in the door.
It looks like, and there's also scratches on the floor, so it looks like we have to have something to pry it open with.
Well, the scratches on the floor you're pretty certain are from the door being swung open.
That's what
Yeah.
I'm saying,
Yeah.
though, so it's kind of sticks, it looks like.
I reach into another hole. What do I feel?
Nothing. All of them are empty. Actually, yeah, all of them are empty.
I stick my hand in one and start pulling on the door.
Okay, go ahead and make a strength athletics check with disadvantage.
I'll help him if I see him try to pull the door open.
11.
Yeah, basically because of the offered method, Dink, you can't assist. Your hands are slipping inside of the holes. You're trying to get a grip. You're trying to get any bearing. You're trying to heave. You're trying to hoe, and no.
You said that there were figures out
So,
here.
just a quick note: there are 8 total holes, which could be filled with anything, and a door. Could be filled with anything.
How many figurines are in the diorama?
Does anybody else have any other ideas? The diorama has a grouping of them. Do you want to go check them out?
I put both of my hands each in a hole.
And start sliding and slipping again.
Fill them up. Somebody get in here.
Lazarus is gonna go greens.
So no.
So maybe we put them in the.
Jeremy, make a just make an intelligence check. And Fonzie, make an intelligence history check.
8.
It's actually
15.
that's actually 15 because you clicked
26.
save. You're not sure what's going on here, and you're starting to say everybody shove your hands in holes. Fonzie, you're starting to realize that the holes were placements for handles that have rotted away. You need to create new handles to open the door. You don't know what you could do that with, or do you?
Does anyone have a crowbar or a hammer and
Doing
pins or
structural
something? Oh yeah, wait, let's take the greatsword and shove it in the crack and use it to pry that.
Okay.
That's sounds like some.
Sure. Go ahead and
I'm gonna start.
go ahead.
Go ahead. They can do what they're doing. I'm gonna start looking around for something to.
Okay.
As do the thing. Kidding.
All of these
Yeah.
objects, Fonzie, they're not very massive or big. They're just small little like carvings and like figurines that have been put together from just bone and like bits of hide and what have you to form these little figurines. As you kind of look at the diorama, you look over to the niche to the side and look at it and kind of, oh, well, let's see what it's got in it. And you see that in that display, it depicts what you assume is the Vazriel's perception of the creation of the world. All the statuettes are stylized and obviously non-human. The figures can be removed, you think. It looks like there are 4 of these gods present, these very ornate god figures. One's crafted out of ruby, and it looks like it's a small dragon figure, and it looks like it's in the center of this diorama piece. One looks like it's made out of jade, and it's a serpent-headed hydra creature. Another one of them looks like it is made out of onyx or possibly obsidian, and it looks like it's a raven creature. But in the center of it, as you're kind of looking at it, you notice that there's a certain redness to it. Like there's a deep redness to that stone. And looking at the ruby, it actually appears to be more yellow, like in the center, than red. And then last but not least, there's kind of a bluish colored stone with kind of like a green core, and it looks like it is a beholder. And it looks like these 4 creatures are kind of showing the creation of the world according to the Vazriel. And you're pretty familiar with the Vazriel. You would know that these are the 4 greater gods of the Vazriel people, the 4 great clans.
You said the door opens from the inside.
It opens
Opens
in toward you.
Opens in toward.
Mhm.
Yeah. So if
you said we can see.
You can't see through the holes. No, they
No.
Okay,
we
go.
can see the hinges on the sides of the.
Yeah, you can see the. Yeah, you could probably pop those out too.
Yeah,
but the door's unlocked, right?
Door's unlocked, but you
The
just have to
door
pull it open.
It's already unlocked, so let me just pry it open with the greatsword as a crowbar, because it's a magical elvish greatsword. It shouldn't snap.
Are you going to
Hopefully.
do
Indestructible material.
I'd like to, and
that? Okay, make a strength
with
athletic.
John's quote unquote, maybe someone could help me.
Yeah, he can help you, but he can't do it the way he was doing it. But yeah, he can
Push it.
offer aid. Yep, go ahead and make a strength athletics check with advantage.
Oh god, 13.
Doesn't seem to be doing very well. The sword does bend a little bit. It does seem to be kind of a pliable material, but as you get it out, it does reshape to its normal form, as any true master crafted sword should do.
I cram a belaying pin into one of the handle holes farthest from the hinges and start pulling on it
Okay.
to pry the door open.
Perfect. Do you want some assistance, or are you doing it on your own?
Always.
Okay. Isaac?
I'll help him.
Are you guys are you guys taking the pins out of, or sorry, the hinges off the?
I was going to.
Well, if it opens forward, it may fall forward. Do you want me to like brace it or anything?
Well, he hasn't started to. He said he wanted to.
I haven't done it.
Yeah.
Just-
You guys
yeah,
interjected to stop
I'm
him.
down to help with any labor or anything.
Okay. So
18
John's
with advantage.
John said he wanted some assistance in trying to prise the door open with his belaying pin shoved into one of the holes, and it manages to fit in decently. It does take some hammering though, and it definitely reshapes the nature of the belaying pin, so you're not sure it's going to function as a club anymore.
Oh, I'm not taking it with me. I don't care. It can go.
You're pretty sure, yeah. If you were to try and pull it out, it might cause it to break. So yeah, the two of you work together and manage to pull that door open at the cost of one belaying pin. All right. Before you guys get that done, I'm going to note you did spend a little bit of time saying actions and that you were doing actions, and those actions didn't happen instantaneously. So I'm going to basically posit 5 minutes to your efforts. In those 5 minutes, I'm going to cut to the other people. So while you're doing that, Ithel, you're just watching on, or are you doing anything besides?
Not really. No. I mean, is there any way I could examine the stone?
Yeah, it's stone. What are you trying to look for in particular?
But do I have any sense of its purpose?
Oh, it's a door.
I need light.
What stone are you talking about? Don't move forward. Stop. I said wait 5 minutes, Jeremy. Speedy Gonzalez over here. Jeez Louise.
Yeah, because I'm standing in a room full of poison.
I get you. I'm trying to kill you. So do stuff on my time. Famzi, you said you were looking at that
Rush, John?
diorama. Do you want to look at any other
Counting
ones?
narrator time again?
Yeah, no, I would. Like I said, I would. I would probably take the pieces to give back to the museum.
Okay, picking those 4 up is no problem. And your acute awareness of the worth of items, you're pretty sure that the most expensive of these 4 gemstones is in actuality the beholder. And you're pretty sure that that's going to fetch probably 250 gold pieces if you were to sell it outright. But to the museum,
I won't sell
it's
them. They're going
obviously
to the museum.
priceless. Yep. And once you collect those, do you want to check any other ones, or is that the only one you want to check?
You checking around until they get that door open, then I'd be like, okay,
I'd say you'd be able to get at least.
Yes,
Because
going through.
I'm counting the time. There's about 4 more minutes of us talking. Is there any particular niche you want to check out before you move on?
I'd like to go through each one of them for the amount of time that I have and check them out.
Pick one is what I'm trying to. Are you going south?
Top right.
Top right. Okay.
Top right.
In the scene, it shows various forms of crafting common folk of this Basriel people. It looks like there's these small little trinkets that are basket weaving and weaving rugs, and some of them are carving totems. You can see that the main totem that they appear to be carving in fine little detail are these little dragon figures. Looks like some are making pots, some are grinding stones for weaponry, and some are making clothes. High detail, but it looks like if you were to kind of pick them up and move them, you might be able to transport them well enough. But man, the detail that's in these, it's pretty insane. It looks like it's mostly clay for the people and small furs and small stones and such. Do you want to take any of these commoners or leave them?
If they no, I'm gonna leave the
Okay.
break.
Yeah.
Top left.
Okay. Go on over to that one. I'm going to cut from you, actually, because as you're getting to that point, they're actually going to open the door. But reversing back real quick, Lazarus, we haven't played too much with you. Famsi looks like he's going around checking out the dioramas and the niches. The others are focused on the door. Dink is trying to get in to, smash out some hinges. What are you doing?
Be helping them try and open the door.
Okay.
2 do not want to die to poison.
Okay. Yeah, that makes perfect sense. I wouldn't either. With that being said, then, Famsi, you kind of get a quick look at this, and it doesn't really you don't get much of an opportunity to look. It looks like there are a couple of more people and some more fantastically dressed ones, and maybe like a small little snake on one of them, and they all appear to be kind of set up on a tiered ziggurat. Your brain kind of flashes for a second, and you kind of realize that the image that you're seeing here might be the place you started off at, where the boat currently is, but in much older times. But then you hear the screeching of the stone as they pull it open. You guys can see into the next chamber. Looks like there's a hallway up ahead. Free move. Feel free to do as you like.
I'll not be going. Now that we're in a
I'll take
quote-unquote dungeon.
Dink.
If Jun is going first or Dink is going first, whoever it is, you see that in this room there are stone walls of this corridor that are carved to resemble a stack of bamboo-like logs. The passage slopes down from the single door. What the hell is that? Oh, I accidentally clicked on the dice roller and it pulled up some nonsense. Anywho, it slopes downward from a single door on its western leg. So basically, it slopes down away from you. Okay, so it's you're at the top of the hill effectively. The lintel of which on the door on the opposite side has been carved and crafted to represent a stylized cavern entrance. It leads to a double doors of beaten bronze worked to resemble a forest of seaweed. Do you see what I'm talking about?
The double door.
There's kind of like a passage or a door kind of in between, and that's kind of shaped like a cavern. Stop. Back up.
Your internet.
My internet? What's up?
You keep lagging out. We can't hear you.
Okay, so apologies. Can you hear me okay now? Can you hear me okay now?
Kind of.
Okay. It's really weird. It, according to my thing, says I'm full green bars, so... No delay, right?
Could just be a random spike.
Okay.
You're good now.
You guys move forward. Alright. As you did. And you do not see the pressure plates that you step on as you move on forward. Okay. Go ahead and place yourselves here for me, please. It's not pinging. Let me try this. Did it ping? Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. The two of you will take 7 points of bludgeoning damage. As logs swing out from either wall, out of the cave fixture.
No, there's no save.
No.
7 points each.
7 points of bludgeoning damage apiece. The reason why there's no save is because they don't drop down in front of you. They drop down behind you and slam into your back end. Now you make the save. Dexterity saving throw.
20.
Good?
12.
Good enough. You don't fly forward down the slopes.
Assuming
Okay.
this hallway's still full of poison, yeah.
Yeah, the entire chamber so far is still full of poison, correct. It seems that the nature of the trap was to send you forward in hopes of... Oh, okay. No, I see. Jeremy, take half. Take 3. And you take full. Dink. I misread. There were 2 parts of it. And the other part is just generic traps across the board. Got it. Cool. Okay. I'll go ahead and give you 3 minutes back, because I took it from you. with my bullshit. That said, what would you like to do?
The floor in front of me as I advance slower.
Okay. You see the
And
brass doors. It looks like they might be opened very easily. Like they can be kind of just pushed open. They're more sheets of brass than full-on doors.
Advance cautiously. Do we find no other traps between here and the...
Correct.
You cut out, but I think you said correct.
Correct.
I indicate where this pressure plate... And...
No, you're cutting out. No idea why I'm getting lag all of a sudden.
Could just be Discord.
Interesting. Okay, so yeah, if you check the doors, you know, they don't appear to have any kind of traps to them. Yeah, the logs in question kind of form a door of their own. The others will need to kind of push them open, but not too terribly hard to do it. But in doing so, once you've pushed them open to lock them in place, it appears that you've reset the trap. So with carefulness, you guys move across the trap and effectively reset it. Do you open the door, John? The brass doors?
If I don't find any traps on it or think it's the door itself is trapped, since this was trying to launch me into it.
Yeah, your assumption is that whatever's on the other side of these doors is probably hostile, or there's traps on the other side that you're trying to be sprung into.
Rapier warning.
Yeah, it glows.
Are the others able to make it over that pressure plate safely?
Yeah.
I don't have to worry about providing light to them or anything.
No, you guys were able to get over to there. That's fine. John, how are you seeing? You have dark vision? Oh, you're with Dink. No, I get you.
It's pipe.
You're with Dink. Are you opening the door though? Everybody else can get across.
Yes.
Okay.
Rapier warning is drawn and...
Got it. Bear with me here.
And you said the rapier is...
Yes. So when you open the door, the brass doors, they kind of move open and kind of settle on their own, kind of falling inwards, if that makes any sense. Not re-shutting, just now kind of held open by their own weight. The room that you see before you is constructed of large stone blocks buttressed to the corners. The walls are wet and slimy, and mud covers most of the floor in a thin coating. To the east and west, may be seen stone doors recessed in the wall, and to the north a set... bear with me here. Sorry, and to the... across from you, there's a set of stairs that leads down. In the center of the chamber sits a large polished boulder amid a pile of smaller rounded rocks. The boulder is 5 feet tall and colored brown with dark streaks and spots. Leaning against it is what appears to be a bamboo staff. In the mud around the base of the boulder is a moving shape looking like a crayfish. It is facing you and seems to be aware of your presence.
I indicate the location of the bad guy and that the floor is coated in mud. Watch your step.
Okay. The crayfish doesn't seem to kind of do anything besides what it was doing before. It seems to be talking in a very strange language, actually, as it comes up out of the muck. It kind of starts looking to the stones. Seems to be talking to you specifically, you guys, and no, you don't speak the language.
Do I?
You don't.
Okay.
But it seems to be addressing you with some sort of sentience. What would you guys like to do? Anybody?
I just keep hearing small sounds from you and not actual words.
Okay, I have no idea why that's the case. My thing says it's entirely green, so... Can you hear me okay?
Right then, yes.
Okay, so one more time. Do you guys want to do anything?
Enter the room and move to this.
Okay, I'm going to pause because we apparently are having some sort of disconnection or communication issue that's really aggravating me. And the time-sensitive nature of this quest is integral on things working correctly. So bear with me here for a second. I'm pausing at this point, and you were refunded 3 minutes. So far it's been 32 minutes in travel. Trying to figure my stuff out. Can you hear me okay?
I can right now.
Yes, but I could still hear that pinging sound that comes along with the voice when it breaks.
Got it. Test. Test.
There you are.
One moment. Loading up Roll20. Sorry, guys.
Cool.
Not your fault. Things break.
Am I coming in clear, though?
Yeah.
As a
Yes,
wise man
definitely.
once said, computers.
Oh, great. Now Roll20 is just all grayed out. Exciting. Oh my goodness. Test. Still good?
Yep.
Yes.
Okay. Still loading. Just give me a second here. I know this is a riveting Twitch stream process for those watching. I apologize.
So has anybody got any funny jokes?
You've already told that one, John.
I'll tell it again.
Go for it.
Mm.
Classic.
Nice.
That's pretty bad.
Okay. I think I have what I need. Okay. So the room is constructed of large stone blocks, but is buttressed in the corners. The walls are wet and slimy, and mud covers most of the floor in a thin coating. To the sides of you, you can see stone doors recessed in the wall, and across from you can see stairs that lead down. In the center of the chamber, large polished boulder, pile of smaller rounded rocks. The boulder is 5 feet tall and colored brown with dark streaks and spots. Leaning against it is what appears to be a bamboo staff. In the mud around the base of the boulder is a moving shape looking like a pretty massive crayfish. It is facing you and seems to be aware of your presence, and it's also apparently speaking to you in a strange language. I do not think anybody in the party has the language in question.
Doubtful.
Well,
Can I kind of glean what it's trying to, what kind of point it's getting across?
Wisdom, insight.
I'm going to eat you.
18.
You're pretty sure that it's scolding you,
Mm-hmm.
Kind of like if you walked into someone's house, pretty much the same kind of response you'd get.
Right. I'm gonna, like, I just want to leave. I'm not here to start nothing.
Okay. Anybody else doing anything? We're restarting time now.
Move into the room. Sound off light in here to see if see if there's any other like exits, or that we could just be on our way if Squid Billy doesn't want us.
Yeah, Squidbilly or the crayfish starts to kind of look at you menacingly, and it starts whatever it was saying before. It's yelling it more sharply.
The stairs across the way, do they go up or down?
Down.
Balls.
Always good to go down. Just go deeper.
Oh, there's something up. There's a way up here.
2 doors. Yeah.
Yeah, there's the door on the right and the left. I asked the crayfish in common, how do we get out of here?
Crayfish starts kind of speaking its strange language, and your insight is good enough to tell you that it's basically how someone would reply if they don't know what you're talking about or what you're saying.
Cool.
I
He doesn't speak.
I repeat it in every language I know.
I do have comprehend languages if we want to use it. I just didn't know if it's something worthy right
He's
now.
just saying, don't mess with my stuff.
That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah, he's saying, get the fuck out. I was having a shower. You guys open the door. What
Oh,
is
is he like a dung beetle? Is that like a poop sphere?
Looks like a
That's
really
gross.
shiny, polished, slick rock. But yeah,
Looks like.
the fish in question will actually move kind of here as it's kind of like taking a bullying posture and kind of looking at Isaac. Again, with your insight, Dink, it seems to be interceding itself in between interlopers and the stuff in the middle.
Hug the walls. We don't.
Yep.
We don't want any
Get
business
around
with
it.
him.
I don't want
We-
your rock. I want
We do
to
not want to get in a fight if we don't have to.
go over
I'm
here.
gonna kind of like snap my fingers and whistle at him and just show that I am walking, just giving the widest berth I can.
What is the rock? Is it just a pile of shit?
Not ours.
Do you focus on it a bit more?
Yes.
Not important because it's
Yeah.
poison room.
It belongs to that guy, and we are leaving.
If you have nature
it seems to
trained,
be protecting it, obviously I'm gonna be interested. Like, why is it guarding it?
if you have nature trained, you can make a nature check.
Because it's his, you fucker.
You can make an intelligence check all out.
I like how like we're the least good aligned.
17.
The thief and the bandit tell you to leave this dude's stuff alone.
Hey,
Yeah.
guy.
So what you're
Fourth and
noticing is that stone shape in the middle isn't just an inert boulder. It appears to be some sort of shell. And the bamboo staff, or what you thought was a bamboo staff, is actually a leg of what you presume to be a crab-like creature, a hermit.
Oh
crab.
my God, it's his wife. Leave him alone.
Yeah,
my
he's
mama.
bad,
Right.
dude.
Just go.
I'll continue following the
Heading
gang
to
and
the
I'll
north
say,
door.
you,
Right.
you could come with us
Octopops.
and live a nice life on the ship, dude.
I intend to go to the stairs.
Okay.
You guys want to go? I thought you wanted to go out. I want to go
I
down.
do, but these doors don't seem like they're gonna go anywhere. It's a single door.
Okay.
All right.
Uh,
So we'll go down to go up. I like the plan.
Dink and Fomty, are you guys separating from the rest of the group?
Oh, we were just trying to, space out so none of us are
'Cause
any closer
It-
than we have
it's
to be.
becoming
to the
even
center.
more irritated by the fact that you're spread out.
You're flanking it.
I'm gonna double back, just keep my nose down and follow single file the
Okay.
rest of them.
Now that
Just
you're operating
Timeout,
at a
apology.
slightly more, it's yelling, but it's basically yelling the same thing over and over again, which you're probably translating to "get out."
You win. He wins.
He gains
Buff it,
Come on.
double time.
he gains 150 experience, and he's now 15th level. No,
Oh shit.
oh, shoot.
15th level crab.
That was a fine
Crayfish.
intimidate, is what it was.
It worked.
Don't-
All right.
you don't have
Animal
time for
handling,
this.
whatever you want to call it.
You get to the door. It's a single door. When you open it, It's a hold on a second. It's a mud-filled doorway. Obviously, as you open the door, it does push out. Oh, hold on a second. Stop. Put that door back up. I apologize. I misread.
I inspect that door.
Yeah, so you would note that the silt and mud that's kind of gathered up, it's about 18 to 24 inches at the bottom, and is basically set up the circumstance where it is impossible to force the door. It's going to be really, really hard to force the door here. And there is a large grip, though, to pull on. But like I was saying, it is made to open inward, so pull towards yourself. And to do that, you have to pull through that 24 inches of mud and silt, which has actually kind of got the consistency,
I drink a potion of Frost Giant Strength.
Okay.
I don't actually have that on here. What's it do for me?
It sets
I
your
have it in my inventory.
It sets your strength 23, I think.
Yeah, I ripped that door off the hinges.
I'm gonna try to brace him so he doesn't slip back towards the center of the room somehow.
You try to. Go ahead and make a, and because you're the only one.
I'm putting 1 foot against the wall, 1 foot against that bottom step, and pulling on the handle.
Yeah. Because you're the only one who actually has the strength to even do anything with this door, no one can assist you. Go ahead and make a strength athletics check. And
they can cheer me on.
What's your strength modifier currently?
Mine is a 2.
So you'll be adding 4 to the roll. Go ahead. Okay. For all your efforts and your pushing and your efforts to try and do this, you're not really getting any leeway on this door. Like I said, it's basically it's 2 feet of quicksand that's kind of holding the door kind of set in place. You're trying to pull the door through the floor. It's
What's the door made of?
stone.
Oh, okay. I got a pick.
Can I walk through the door?
No.
Really?
You can't move through an
Yes, I can.
Can you?
Yeah.
Hold on a second. Bear with me here.
Pause time.
Can you click the feature? Yeah, pause time, sorry.
Get ready for
Uh-huh. And we're at 40 minutes, by the way, at this moment.
You can move through other creatures and objects as if they were difficult terrain. You take 1d10 force damage if you end your turn inside an object.
Yeah, you can go ahead and move through it. Okay, do you want to?
Yeah, I mean, I just want to peek through and see what I see.
Sure. Okay, you cast for the friendly ghost, restarting time. 40 minutes, by the way. And I'll go ahead and pop you onto the other side. That's interesting.
I can see.
Let's see. On the opposite side...
Say again, John?
Yeah, am I lagging again? On the opposite side, you see a hallway that does not appear to be kind of covered with silt. There's still a little bit of sand at like the base on the door on the opposite side, but there appears to be water that kind of streams down towards a larger room. You can move a total of 30 feet away from the door. That'd be the maximum allotment that you'd be able to do.
Yeah, rather than doing that, I just want to turn around and look at the door itself and see if there's anything I can glean from the mechanism that might help John open.
Based on what you're looking at, the door needs to be pulled inwards towards him, and that's going to pose a pretty large problem. It looks like the hinges are actually, they weren't on the opposite side. They appear to be internalized in the wall, so you're not seeing them on this side either. Yeah, there's really nothing that is assisting here. It looks like this is actually more of a dead end than anything else.
Okay, so I'm going to go back through and tell them.
So it's a dead end beyond there?
No. She could walk on. I'm saying the door kind of
I'm not
creates a
gonna leave
block.
you.
Oh,
I can't
Right,
do
right.
anything. I can't touch anything. I gotta
John-
stay with the crew.
can we try
attempt to open
digging
the door again?
the mud away?
You're gonna attempt to open the door again.
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead and make the same check. This time at disadvantage.
Ooh, nice.
Yeah, you heave and you hoe, and you pull the handle right off the door.
I punch the door.
Okay, go ahead and make an attack roll.
It'd be the same roll, wouldn't it?
Yes, you're just a non-magical weapon. The damage will be 1 plus your strength modifier, which is 6.
Right, but all my weapon attacks are dex, so it would just be an athletics roll again, right?
Yeah, sure. Okay, you hit the
Okay.
door, so you deal 7 points of damage to it, but you also hurt your own fist. You take a single point of damage from smashing your hand on a door. It doesn't look like
Fine with it.
did anything more than kind of break off a small chip. As I mentioned, there's kind of like just generic kind of reliefs on this door, and you broke off a small bit of it.
As he does that, I hand him a pickaxe and say, maybe this will help.
I motion to the door at the north side. Maybe we should go through that one.
Looking at the door, being an archaeologist-minded fellow, the stone in question is really hard stone, not loose stone that you'd find in a mine or in a dig site. You're pretty sure that if you went steel to that, it would take days for you to break through it.
Well, forget that then. You said there is a door to the north, though?
I'm gonna turn around to the crab monstrosity.
The
and
crayfish.
Sort of look apologetically.
He looks back at you and he gets in between you and the boulder. He's like, I'm telling
And I'm
you.
gonna start inching back around the wall
Okay.
towards that north door, motioning for the others to follow.
All right. And you make it
I'm
through
willing
the
to call it a day on that door.
John expends all 3 charges of the Ring of the Ram.
on the crayfish.
Oh.
Really?
On the stupid fucking door, he's mad at it.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Oh,
Go
that's
ahead.
a waste.
Go ahead and cast it.
He doesn't care. It'd be a plus
It hits.
15 strength against.
Let's see. So
Second paragraph.
break an object you can see with strength checks plus 5 for each charge you expend. So you said you're expending all 3 to do it?
All of it. Yep, plus 15.
23.
Okay. That's a good stopping point. So you watch as you guys move away from the crayfish. The Ring of the Ram kind of emanates its energy, and he kind of focuses on it, like a Green Lantern would focus on his power ring, and just slams forward, and the door gets hit and breaks right off.
Hey, you did it.
Suck it, door.
And I'll go ahead and cut the door. Did the door go away?
It did not.
Okay, well, I'll get the door next time. I'm going to go ahead and pause here. We're at 45 minutes, by the way.
Hey, there it goes.
Those of you go, before you start moving, stop. The crayfish looks like it's mad
I'm not,
ready to
I can-
tango. So at the beginning of next session, we'll be dealing with that combat. All right. Anybody have anything they want to interject before we close out the stream?
Are we all good for next Sunday?
I believe so. No, wait, nope.
Holiday.
I will be in.
Not for you Canadians.
I'll
I'm
be
down
in-
here in Freedom Land.
I'll be in a car driving from Chicago. So nope.
That was your your turkey day.
Huh?
Yeah.
Thursday is our turkey day. That's right. So yeah, we'll be off for the holiday weekend, and we'll be back the following, as long as there's no problems. All right, I'm gonna stop the stream. Thanks for watching, and see you in a couple of weeks.